going to speak very briefly this evening because, of course, you've had a message from the Prime Minister and the Mayor of London. I'm bringing the good wishes of Ed Miliband, who very much wanted to come here this evening, but was unable to join us because of other commitments. But he wanted me to pass on his thanks to C.B. Patel and to all those involved in Asian Voice and Gujarat Samachar for the fantastic work that they do. I'm delighted to be here, delighted to see Cherie Blair, my old friend here. We almost got into politics at the same time. I'm really not sure why Cherie is not a fellow Labour MP. Every time I meet her, I keep telling her she's got to stand, but I think it's wonderful that you've got her here as your guest of honour. But my task this evening is to introduce a very special guest to you. I have just come from the American Embassy, where the new American ambassador was hosting a very special evening to celebrate 50 years of that most famous speech for diversity in the whole world, the Martin Luther King I Had a Dream speech. And the ambassador had got together people of different ethnic origins at Grosvenor House to relive that moment 50 years ago when Martin Luther King, with that amazing speech, changed the course of American history and made sure that we had in the White House today a black American president. Because that achievement of having Barack Obama elected as president, unthinkable 50 years ago, was only made possible by the struggle of the civil rights movement. And those of us involved in politics in this country, and I know there are a number of parliamentary colleagues here today, were only involved because of what we saw happening in America. And one man was with Martin Luther King that night when he gave that famous speech. He was only in his 20s, and I've just seen the footage of the day that Martin Luther King was assassinated in Memphis, and standing on the balcony was the guest that I introduced to you today. Having walked around with him in London earlier today, I don't think that there is a more recognisable politician in the world from America apart from Barack Obama. But Barack Obama's election was only possible because this man stood as the first black man ever to stand for the presidency of the United States of America. And when he stood for the first time, he got 3 million votes. When he stood 4 years later, he got 7 million votes. And many of us politicians here in the room, including those in the House of Lords, would only wish we could double our vote between elections. So ladies and gentlemen, please will you give an ecstatic welcome to the Reverend Jesse Jackson.
Good evening. I am delighted to have a moment to share with you tonight in this historic celebration of your 13th annual Asian Achievement Celebration. Don't take granted your achievement because you fought against the odds or the margins, you fought against the stereotyping, and you fought against the profiling that somehow against the odds you affirm your greatness. You should give yourself a great round of applause. Give yourself a great round of applause. There are many hotels in America, but not like CB. Give CB another decade. Can you do it, please? Let me say that this past week, we celebrated Dr. Martin Luther King's address in Washington, August 28th, 1963. This should hold in such high esteem the King's leadership, his work and sacrifice that year was the tumultuous year. The change, he was jailed that year. Medgar Evers was assassinated that year. The 4 babies were born in the church in Birmingham, Alabama that year. John Kennedy was killed That year, November 22nd. Yet somehow, he dreamed of all our pain. Let me hold him in great esteem and hold his name high around the world. Tonight, there's another such saintly person named Nelson Mandela who came on to his life tonight. But the foundation, both Nelson Mandela and Dr. King went to jail in 1963. Nelson stayed 27 years and came out of early when he was getting out and set the groundwork of Mandela becoming a free man. The root of Nelson Mandela's consciousness and Dr. King's consciousness is one Mahatma Gandhi, a nation. And we're glad about that. Then the trials last year to give the Nehru lecture and to give the Gandhi lecture, embracing the culture that has brought forth for us the consciousness and the soul power to redeem America in the world. That's something precious about the legacy of the Asian population, which will represent the work that we thank you so much tonight for all that you mean. Dr. King, the power of that dream, I shall never forget what it was, is that in the last week of his life, you think of the dream season when he had this ebullient flow and seeing beyond the circumstances, and then your dream was under attack. And like many great men, he felt that he had given his best and his best was not enough. He was, in a sense, depressed. He thought about turning back. He thought about giving up. You hear the voice said, don't give up, go forth, I hope and not backwards by fear. He thought about like Gandhi fasting before the death. He learned that lesson from studying Mahatma Gandhi. He just said, in a real sense, I should go on by my dream and not backwards by my hope. Tonight, we are better because of your community. We have reason to be proud of it. 50 years ago, Nelson Mandela was in jail tonight. He is the president of South Africa, and now is held in the highest esteem of any man in the world. 50 years ago, Black America could not vote because of the inspiration and tactics and soul of Asian Americans. Because the soul of Mahatma Gandhi, we are a better world tonight. I thank you for your joy, your hope, and let's keep fighting together. There's too much hate in the world, too much violence, too much war. We as civilized people must go another way. War is attractive, but peace has more to offer. We've tried war, it does not work. We've tried killing, it does not work. Let's give hope a chance and keep hope alive. God bless you. Thank you very much. I love you so much. Give peace a chance. Give peace a chance. Give